Do you know the lines? Perhaps not.
You cannot heal. You know not the lines.
You may know how to wield a scalpel, but you don't know the lines.
What are the lines? I don't know the lines. I don't know my lines. Pathologic just drops you into days 1, 2, 3. The town's layout is nonsense. The villagers distrust you, blame you. They assume you understand and aren't interested in explaining themselves. And all the while, the lines keep coming up, that you need to learn the lines. What are the lines? Why can't they just tell me? At its base, the gameplay of Pathologic is management, managing your food, medicine, time. In Persona, you have clearly separated blocks of time you can spend, afternoon and evening, on hanging out with people, training, side quests. Meanwhile, the main quest gets its own place, unmissable. Pathologic isn't like that at all. There is no line between the time spent on walking and the time spent with characters or on favors. The line between side content and main is missing. It's all together. The time you spend looking through the dumpster is the same time that ticks away as someone needs you. What is your priority? What do you do when you are starving and half the village wants to see you dead? When the villagers won't follow simple instructions and the pandemic is only marginally worse than the madness that surrounds it. On day 4, I swivel when I hear the twire. I know its song, a joy and a blessing. On day 5, I spend minutes collecting as many nuts as I can find. The real economy is not in coin, and the children are at its apex. On day 6, I plunder the diseased districts, the sick so desperate for medicine. I'm a doctor. I do what needs to be done. On day 8, I stop telling myself I won't kill. Pathologic is a game with a lot of mechanics that are completely uninteresting by themselves. Walking, looting, trading, fighting. However, none of these are alone. They are connected. Looting is just inventory management, picking a lock is dead simple. Yet they both take up time. Every moment has its weight. Time spent deciding on what to take is another second to your patient's wait. No quest will wait for you. If you aren't there, the world continues. Often for the worse, sometimes for the better. Pathologic is not interested in being fair. The combat feels designed against you. The villagers' demands are beyond your capacity. Meanwhile, they deceive and are deceived. You will push yourself close to the edge to eke out every advantage you can get, rummaging through every trash can on your way, starving yourself to push your food supplies a little farther. Yet pushing yourself to the edge risks death. And every death makes the game harder, pushing a negative feedback loop to your demise. It is not fair. I see the lines now. I walk from point to point. I map out a route in my head. Every stop considered a choice. Every dialogue a commitment, every trade measured, my resources on a tight leash. Sometimes I let the sick suffer as I don't have enough. Sometimes I give when it is all I have. Pathologic is an exhausting game, not from harsh technical demands, but from always being so on, constantly making decisions that feel impactful. The town is not laid out like any reasonable town, demanding forethought to make the most of your time. Detours have weight. I'm running out of time and food and I do not have time for this. But my previous plan evaporates. I plan my route, drawing a new line. The dialogue is demanding. Townsfolk have no interest in helping you get your bearings or pointing you to some main quest line. They're in it for their own self-interest. They lie to you, withhold information, ask for favors. But they also open up, desperate. They plead for help, telling you so much. The first time I played this game, I bounced off of it, unable to grasp what was going on, just defeated by the difficulty of it. I expected a game that wanted me to understand, not a town that would allow me to understand. I took notes while playing to help me keep track of things. Every dialogue required me at full attention, scraping what information I could out of them. What do they want? What do they want from me? About halfway into the game, I stopped using my notes. I didn't need them. I knew. I know this town, these herbs, these people. I know Vlad and Laura and Domkovsky. I see the lines. I can plot a route in my head. I trade with children and swindle the sick and desperate. I operate on so many patients. In the hospital, in homes, in the street. I go into sick neighborhoods to plunder the houses. I go to the hospital every day to do what I can. I know the lines. The town is no longer a mystery to me. The medicine, the people, the streets are all known. Pathologic 2 demands you to engage deeply, intimately. You are pushed to pay close attention in order to survive, and slowly, you understand. You see the connections, the lines. You see why Vlad has so much power, why Bad Grief talks so big of game, why the Shabnaks are here and nowhere else. In a way so few games have, I feel I have truly become the character. I know Artemy's frustration, his anger, the people not listening to the surgeon in a pandemic. I know his desperation. Domkovsky, you mentally vacant suit. I know his love for this strange place, completely unlike any other, operating on its own rules. I am Artemy Burach, and now I know my line.